establish a floor or ceiling on the rates of tariffs. Now, how in the world can you say that you don't have the power?
Your Honor.
You be very frank here, because really it irritates us. Huh?
Your Honor, I believe...
Under the terms of Section 17 of Republic Act 7925, will you still insist that you don't have the power?
We have residual powers only, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. There's no residual power here. It is a full power. The residual power is only on certain portions.
Commissioner Williams. Okay.
lawyer.
Please, you both read the same language.
Your Honor, in the area of value-added service, the VAS, it's a deregulated industry. And this...
Why do you keep on using the word regulated when you are supposed to impose the rates?
Your Honor, Republic Act 7925.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to intervene. Evidently, you do not know what you're doing as a commissioner. What the law says is that if there is true, you deregulate them, but you must guard on the fairness of the rates that they charge so that there is no ruinous competition. The moment you find a ruinous competition, you regulate, you impose.
Interfere.
My goodness, sir, if you have been in that commission for a long time, I'll kick you out if I were president. If the way you're answering, we will recommend that you be fired.
I apologize, Your Honor, but Your Honor, there is a distinction between VAS and the telco service, Your Honor.
Which one?
Wait. Let me check.
Yes,
You use several words here. A telco, any company which has a franchise cannot be any regulated industry. And that's why I tell you, huh? When you keep on talking about deregulated, what are you saying? The moment you have a franchise, that franchise automatically makes the industry a regulated industry.
correct.
So it is not deregulated, it is a regulated industry.
It is, Your Honor.
And the one that oversees the regulation, in the case of TELCOS, is the NTC.
Correct, Your Honor.
Now, so the questions asked here by the committee is that in the case of rates and tariffs, and in their operation, every aspect of their operation, the Commission has the power to intervene. Now, what are you telling us?
Your Honor, there are two basic services subject of Republic Act 7925. The telcos are covered by a franchise, and the telcos are
Yes,
subject...
let me interrupt you. Huh? Here is the franchise Republic Act 729.4 of SMART. Globe must be saying Section 5 of the franchise of SMART. Section 5, rates of service. The subscription charges and rates of services that the grantee, meaning SMART, shall offer to the public shall be subject to the approval of the National Telecommunications or its legal successors. So every rate, every charge that they impose is subject to your approval. So you cannot have an ostrich-like attitude here. Go ahead.
If I may explain, Your Honor, the rates in the franchise and the rates that are governed by Republic Act 7925, particularly Section 17, goes on the telco rates, Your Honor. However, Your Honor, if I may be made to explain what a value-added service provider is, this one, Your Honor, does not require a franchise. This entity or the content providers do not obtain a franchise. And, Your Honor, this
Correct, I will
is
correct you right away. Have you read the antitrust law that we prepared? Are you familiar with antitrust law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Exist, and the rates or tariffs are distorted or unable to function freely and the public is adversely affected. In such cases, why? I don't know. I'm not accusing you of venalities, but I suspect that you are not performing your job for something else.
Access charge, revenue share. The access charge, revenue sharing arrangements between all interconnecting carriers shall be negotiated between the parties, and the agreement between the parties shall be submitted to the Commission. In the event the parties fail to agree thereon, within a reasonable period of time, the dispute shall be submitted to the Commission for resolution. Now, any conflict, anything that cannot be resolved by the industry, you are the ultimate arbiter. Now, if comes from this and the rest,
Who preceded you?
George Sarmiento, Your Honor.
And who is George Sarmiento?
That's in charge of the TELCOS.
How long did he stay on the job?
It was about 5 years, Your Honor.
5 years. Who was it before him?
Commissioner Jorge.
Commissioner
Jorge.
Forte.
Jorge.
Jorge.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what did these two souls do during those times that they were in that commission before your 2 months?
I may consult, Your Honor.
My goodness. Something is rotten here, I'm telling you. Mas bulok pa sa balot.
You can check the record, Your Honor.
What is your background? How did you come to the NPC?
Your Honor, I went into law practice.
Mr. Chairman, before the answers, I request, before I forget, that we request the presence here of former Commissioner Sarmiento and the guy who was and Borge, for them to explain to the Senate why it took so long for that case to sleep, the sleep of the dead.
The secretary is
Chairman,
yes, sir.
It's a regulator, Your Honor.
now, is the law which prescribes a limit or as a limit of the income of public utilities applicable also to TELCOS?
It is not, Your Honor.
What?
Like Meralco, Your Honor, they go on an RORP, but with the advent of Republic Act 7925, their income is no longer limited based on such.
No, wait a minute. The factors that come into the ROI is something elastic, but it's still covered by the. How was it?
Existence of the law.
Promote consumers' welfare by facilitating access to telecommunication services. It speaks of welfare, right? Read it now. Parang hindi nyo pinag-aaralan yung batas eh. Nandiyan sa batas lahat yung inyong charter. Under powers. E.
Promote consumers' welfare by